The Democrats are our problem. The biggest problem in the world is the Democrats are destroying the black man and the white man of America, and the plot is to kill the black woman and the white European Gentile woman of America. They have the big plan, and Hillary is the Hagar that wants to kill you. They decide to come into America, the FEMA plot to overthrow America. And that plot was a simple plot to get a bunch of the Aztecs back into America. And who are the Aztecs that came back into America? They call themselves MS-13. That's the gang. And they come into America. They want about 300,000 of them over here to match the amount of police that America had in this country. And what they wanted to do is to open the borders, let them all in, which they did through Obama and Hillary Clinton. And once they got in, the thing was to start a race war between the black man of America, the children of Israel, against the white European Gentiles, the two brethren that are supposed to be blessed. Okay, they started the war, and MS-13 is supposed to help the black man overthrow the white man, and then help allow the Russians, the Chinese, and the Arabs into the country to help us, the black man, overthrow the white man. And then after they overthrow the white man, they're going to go after and kill every black woman and white woman in America. The Democrats are the devil. They want to kill a black woman, but they want to put the black man in slavery. Look at Daniel 1 verse 4. It said, bring me certain of the children of Israel, the tribe of Judah, the men of Judah, to enslave us. But they have to get rid of the black woman to do that, because if she cries, the black woman, the black man will fight. So we got to get rid of her. And because they know that the black man is the creators, they are the black Hebrews that are the builders of the pyramids, the creators of Washington, D.C., and all of the buildings down there that are incredible. That's why they want us over here, so we can create for them, because we are the creators along with our white Gentile brethren. And the black woman will stop them from creating if they're upset. So they have to destroy all the black women. Plus they want revenge for Hagar being attempted to be murdered by Sarah, kicking her into the desert. These are the facts. President Trump represents Hiram of Tyre, the king of the Gentiles, and Cyrus, the king of the Gentiles of Persia. He's the great contractor that Hiram of Tyre was, the great builder that Hiram of Tyre was. He is the friend to King Solomon, who is represented by Michael the black man, who represents him and our Father Yahweh, the children of Israel, the Hebrew Israelites. And we are back together to rebuild the kingdom of God, called New Jerusalem, Jerusa. That's America. And now with the election of President Trump, all of those plans have been thwarted. Now President Trump is in the process of getting rid of MS-13 and all the infiltration that Obama and Hillary tried to implement. But Hillary is trying to get back in office, and we must stop her. And we must put in Trump's policies. One of his policies is to get rid of MS-13 and all of the gangs who are coming in to kill the black woman and the white woman of America. To win any war, you must know your enemy. Who are these Mexicans that call themselves MS-13? The Mexicans have two different kinds of people. You have those who are the Aztecs and the Incas, which is one type of people, and you have those Mexicans who are actually Mayans. Now, who are the Mayans? The Mayans are a mixture of three groups of people. When Yahweh told us to go repopulate the earth in Genesis chapter 9:18, he was talking to Shem and Japheth, because Ham, as you well know later, condemned himself and was disinherited and did not get to participate in the repopulation of the earth other than as a helper to us or a slave to us, because he was made a slave to us in Genesis chapter 9, 18 through 32. You will see that Shem and Japheth walked over to the Americas by walking through Siberia. Why did they do that? To repopulate the earth with the animals of Noah from the days of Noah. And they were made up of three groups of people. They were made up of the Shemites, who are Hebrew Israelites, Genesis 14:13, Genesis chapter 10, 1 through 5. And the Shemites, of course, are the forefathers of Abraham. In Genesis 15:13 said Abraham's children would be carried away captive and treated evil for 400 years. So the black men of America is the Shemites. Okay, the Shemites walked over here with Lot as Abraham's nephew, and Lot, of course, is the father of the Chinese and Japanese, Moab and Ammon. That is Lot. And Japheth, Genesis 10, 1 through 5, is the father of all the isles of the Gentiles. And you look in Google, you see that the Chinese, the black Hebrews, and the white Gentiles from Japheth walked to Siberia across a land bridge over into the Americas. And when they got over here, they started repopulating the earth. First place they stopped was in Antarctica, where they had to put the polar bear back because they could not put the polar bear in Africa because he would have died. So they had to repopulate the earth and put the animals back to where they came from. So when they went further south, they were the Hopi Indians and the black Indians, who were the Paleo-American Indians. They were all black. And further south, they were the other kind of Indians. And further south than that, they were the Blackfoot. And in the island, they were the Tiano, wherein the word derived Latino. Then they moved over into Mexico and South America, and they were called the Mayans. So the Mayans were here repopulating the earth in the Americas, South America, and Mexico before any other people were here, because everybody else that came over here were all dead. Now, all of a sudden, you had a strange thing happen. A group of people came from Europe after going through a big witch hunt and all of that. They came over here, came to the Americas on ships and called themselves Phoenicians. And then when they got over here, they did a simple thing. They built pyramids and whatnot, and started a religion. One religion for the white Slavs was called the Incas, and the other religion for the red Asian Ishmaelites was called the Aztecs. So you had the Incas and the Aztecs. The Incas and the Aztecs started hunting down the Mayans who were here before them, and started taking them back to the pyramids and cutting their hearts and livers out and sacrificing them, doing blood sacrifices. And then the Aztecs and Incas put a whole bunch of tattoos all over their body in defiance of God Yahweh, which in Leviticus 19 said you shall not write or tattoo your body. That's Leviticus 19:21. So now we can trace these people down today to what Trump was talking about. Now that you know what happened, here's what the deal is. The Aztecs and the Incas had to run from Mexico and South America when the conquistadors came over here and found out they were cannibalizing people. And so they ran to America and called themselves the Cherokee, the Choctaw, Chickasaw, Seminole, and the Creek Indians. But for purposes of this conversation, we'll name those 5 tribes be all named under the word Cherokee. Okay, so now, but a lot of the Cherokees or should I say, Incas and Aztecs were still in El Salvador, South America, Mexico, Colombia. It was still there. Some of them are still there. Now, who are they? Remember, the red ones are the Ishmaelites, who are the Arabs, East Indians, and Pakistanians. They are the sons of Ishmael. So, what happened? You have a thing going on where why is that going to happen? Because there was a woman on earth named Hagar. Hagar, if you study her, you will find out, even though Hagar was noted as an Egyptian, she was not really a real Egyptian. She was a Canaanite. And as a Canaanite, she was the princess of Egypt, that when Abraham went into Egypt, he told Sarah to tell the Pharaoh that you are my sister, otherwise he would kill me because you're very beautiful, and he would take you for his wife and kill me. So when he lied like that, and she lied like that to Pharaoh, Pharaoh took her because she was beautiful, and then the angels threatened the Pharaoh because he took Abraham's wife, and Pharaoh ran to Abraham and said, "Why didn't you tell me it was your wife? Now they're going to kill me. Only way I can be free from this is for you to forgive me." So he gave Abraham lots of gifts and his firstborn daughter, Hagar. So Hagar is from the Pharaoh. That Pharaoh's name was Rikayon. And if you study Rikayon, he was a family member of Nimrod. Rikayon was a Canaanite. He was white as snow. And he was totally different from the Egyptian kings that had run the country before. But when Nimrod conquered the country, he took it from the black Egyptians, who were from the children of Mizraim, and he gave it to his family member, Rekayon, the white pharaoh. And he was named Pharaoh by Nimrod himself for charging a death tax and getting away with it without the people revolting. So Rekayon was a Canaanite, but he was called an Egyptian because he lived in Egypt and had conquered Egypt. His daughter Hagar was also a Canaanite, and she was white as snow. So now Abraham marries this woman, and he has a baby from her named Ishmael. Ishmael is the father of all East Indians, Arabs, and Pakistanians. Who is Hillary Clinton? Hillary Clinton is this woman that is a descendant of Rothschilds, and she says so. Her name Rodham, that name is from the Rothschilds. And who the Rothschilds say he is? He says he's the king of Amalek. Okay, remember that, Amalek. So Hillary is an Amalekite, and as an Amalekite, you see here. Now, Amalekites are Canaanites and Edomites. That is what Hillary is. Hillary is the woman that's going to make war. In the King James Version of the Bible, Genesis chapter 36, 1 through 5, says Ada and Esau had a son named Eliphaz, and Eliphaz in verse 12 had a son named Amalek. So Amalek is the son, the grandson of Esau and Ada. Esau was born red and hairy all over, and Ada had the same skin condition because she was a Hittite, and the Hittites are the Canaanites. So Hillary Clinton is Esau and Canaan, the great red dragon. She's red and hairy all over. Or should I say Sarah, the black woman and the white Gentile woman of America. and she wants to kill every black woman in America for revenge because Hagar threw her out of the camp. And Sarah threw Hagar out of the camp, and Hagar was thrown out into the sun. And as a Canaanite, that was detrimental because as a white woman with no melanin in her skin, she's not like a Gentile, so she would burn up. That's why she had to put that leaf over her after she left. So this woman is now in trouble. So how do we solve this problem? How does she solve the problem? Yahweh saved her, so now she wants revenge on Sarah. That's why you have the dueling women between Hagar and Sarah. So let's check out the proof that Hillary is Hagar. Okay, first we note that Hagar is a direct descendant of Semiramis. Semiramis was called by nickname Isis to hide the things that she did as a cannibal. And what did she do as a cannibal? She married Cush. She had a son from Cush named Nimrod. Cush was the king of Ethiopia, and then she and her son Nimrod murdered Cush, and then Nimrod became king, and then Semiramis did the ultimate. She married her own son Nimrod, and she became queen. Then she murdered her son and ate his body, and she became the ruler of the country. So Nimrod was conquered by his own mother and eaten by his own mother, which makes her then a cannibal. Everybody who found out she was a cannibal forced her to go into hiding. How does she hide? One of the ways is she changed her name to Isis. Who is Isis? She changed her name to Isis. She changed her name to Isis because Isis is a Greek name. So she was hiding behind the Greeks, so that Greeks would take the blame for what the Canaanites do. That's the trick of the Canaanites. They do, like, for example, the Confederates were Democrats, but now they're making it look like the Republicans are the Confederates. That's how they do it. They change their name. So now that you understand that, you see what this little dog did. She changed her name to Isis. The story of Isis is Isis married Set, and then Set and Isis had a baby named Osiris. Then Osiris and Isis killed Set, and then Osiris became king, and then Isis married Osiris, and then Osiris and Isis were the rulers, and Isis was queen, and then she murdered Osiris, and she became the ruler of the land. And they call her the greatest witch in history because she accomplished that which was impossible. She became in charge. Okay, so now we have that story. So as the queen of heaven, she ruled, and then her great granddaughter was Hagar, and Hagar named herself Isis because she was aspiring to be like her great grandmother. Okay, then she was aspiring to be like her great grandmother Semiramis, and she then tried to do the same thing to Abraham. She had a baby from Abraham named Ishmael, and her plot was to take Ishmael and murder Abraham, and then Ishmael would become in charge, which totally displaces Sarah. And then after Ishmael gets in charge, then Hagar would marry Ishmael, kill Ishmael, eat his body, and she would become in charge. But Yahweh thwarted that plan because he came down himself and said, no, I know what this heifer finna do. She been getting ready to kill my son Abraham. She finna do the Isis trick. So she decided to cut that. Yahweh decided to cut that off himself. God came out and said, Sarah, I don't care that you're 89. You gonna have a baby. His name will be Isaac, and in Isaac shall the seed be blessed, not Ishmael. And he took over from Ishmael. Now that really pissed off Hagar big time, and her son mocked Isaac, and Sarah ended up beating the little 23-year-old Egyptian Canaanite woman Hagar's behind, and then ordered her to be kicked out of the camp. And then Yahweh agreed with Abraham, said, Abraham, get rid of the heifer because she wants to kill you and she wants to take over. So Abraham kicked out into the desert, which she considered a death penalty. So she was very upset about that. So then she has always plotted for revenge. So she had a great granddaughter named Nefertiri who tried to exact revenge. Who was Nefertiri? Nefertiri was also a Canaanite, and she was a direct descendant of Hagar as an Egyptian, but she was a white Egyptian, not the black ones of Mizraim. Okay? But she failed in her quest to kill the children of Israel and take over and marry Moses and take over. So that didn't work. So she was upset with that. Oh, hell no. You know, her firstborn got killed. Oh, God got to kill this heifer, Sarah. Nah, no way. So now, check this out. This is what I love that's beautiful. Then it keeps going. Delilah tries it. Samson knocks the whole building on her. Who is Delilah? She was a white Canaanite too. And she was a Philistine. Philistines are Canaanites, right? So here she failed. And then you had Jezebel who tried it. Jezebel was a Sidonian Canaanite. She was white as snow, but Yahweh thwarted her plot too and had her stomped to death, and the palm of her feet and the bottom of her hand was all that was left of her. Oh man, all of her descendants is mad as hell now. Okay, so then you have Vashti. She was a Canaanite. She tried it, and Yahweh replaced her with Esther, and then saved the rest of the children of Israel from Haman by doing what the NRA did: arm the slaves or the ex-slaves, and in so doing, we were able to defend ourselves, and we conquered Haman with the help of another Persian white Gentile king, as he did, delivering us out of the king of Babylon's hand as Cyrus. Okay, so then after Vashti tried it, you know, her goddess was Astaroth, and Astaroth was a Canaanite goddess, and Baal was a Canaanite god, and all of these people that was giving us problems were Canaanites. And then Cleopatra was a damn Slav Canaanite, and she wiped out Rome as Roxanne wiped out Alexander the Great. She was an Ishmaelite. Ishmaelites and Canaanites have been taking turns at outsmarting us and overthrowing us. And then Queen Elizabeth, who was a direct descendant of King Henry VIII, who was half Slav and half British, was married to Queen Anne Boleyn, who was half Slav and half East Indian, which is the Ishmaelites. So that's why Queen Elizabeth did not want to remarry. She did not want to remarry because she wanted to be able to keep the Slavs in charge. And it was her that got Sir John Hawkins to come get the black man of America as slaves. And Sir John Hawkins, of course, was a Canaanite. He was called a Cherokee Indian. And the Cherokee Indians are Slav Canaanites. Okay? So, then, you know, all in her quest to run the plot, or should I say the ISIS plot, to get rid of Sarah and displace her and kill her because she wants revenge. Remember, the motive is vengeance. Okay? The war is between those two women, Sarah and Hagar. So now she's in America. Now she wants to do the destruction of America with MS-13, which is actually Al Qaeda, ISIS, Boko Haram, whatever you want to call them. That's who they are. So when Trump is doing the right thing right now, because we have defeated the dragon. The great red dragon is Hillary Clinton. How do we know? Because Hillary Clinton is a descendant of Rothschilds, who's a descendant of Amalek, and Amalek comes from Canaan and Esau, and they're white people who are red and hairy all over. So which is Hillary, is the great red dragon. Keep that in your head, the great red dragon. And she is very upset with the black woman of America. She wants to destroy her because she threw her out of the camp as Hagar. Now you have the story. So when Trump is now, we're in the mode of protecting our woman. Where do we get that from? Revelations 12, 1 through 8. It says that I beheld a great wonder in heaven now. And that is wherein we would have to protect our woman from this murderous great red dragon, Hillary. So Michael and his angels will fight. That's me. I'm going to fight, and my angels are going to help me overthrow the great red dragon, and our great president Trump is going to be the one that is going to be guided into, because we shall be a light to him, the Gentile, and we will guide him into how to overthrow her. All we got to do is reveal the sons of perdition first. Let everybody see the difference between MS-13 and the actual Mayans. We don't want Mayans to have to leave America. They okay, because they come over here and they work for a living. They are honorable, peaceful. You never have a problem with them. The people you have a problem with is the one that come over here with all those tattoos. That's MS-13. MS-13 is the Mexicans who are actually Aztecs, okay? And the white ones are Incas. So we got them. Everybody understands who they are now. So he is getting rid of MS-13 right now. So we've destroyed, and we are stopping FEMA plot to overthrow America by opening up the borders. Trump is going to put a wall up and close the borders, and everybody thinks that crazy is against Isaiah 60 verse 18, where God Yahweh himself says, build me a wall great and high to be a border to my land Jerusalem, and all nations will come help us build it. So Mexico is part of the nations. They're going to help Trump build his wall. That's Isaiah 60:18. Why are we building this wall? To stop the evil ones from coming in. MS-13 and Al Qaeda, ISIS, and Boko Haram, all those people who would try to harm us. Our job as the angel of Yahweh is to protect our queens, and that is what will be done and what is being done right now. So the fact is out. They're destroyed because everybody now knows that they are our problem. They are the sons of perdition that must be revealed and moved out of the way, so that the two brethren, Shem and Japheth, the Jew and the Gentile, or should I say the black man of America and the white Gentiles, we shall come together. And when we come together, a great fear will fall upon the wicked. MS-13, all of that crap they talking is now out the door. All that stuff that Kim Jong-un, however you say his name, all that's out the door, because we'll whoop your behind. Old Kimmy from North Korea, you know who I'm talking to. Russia and China, nobody can fight against the black man and the white man while we are in unity. So that's why I'm standing with Trump. Don't wonder what the hell is going on. You now know the truth, and it shall make us free. Because if we lose, Yahweh is going to kill everybody anyway. So you'd rather we win. Just choose you this day whom ye shall serve, God or the devil, because all nations can be saved. Even you brothers in MS-13, just repent, and even you can go to heaven. All of you Republicans that are in the Senate, that are actually Mormons and Cherokees who believe in Cherokeeism, or which is those evil ones, be like the king of Nineveh in the days of Jonah, because the Bible said it to be like the days of Jonah. And in the days of Jonah, guess what? The king repented. McCain, you should repent.